If you Google the word pitmaster, the first image that comes up is an iconic gentleman dressed in a white bib with a white gas station shirt, his sleeves rolled up, with his Elvis-like sideburns. It's Roy Perez, the iconic pitmaster at Kreuz BBQ in Lockhart, Texas. There's nothing I'd rather see than in 2019, Roy Perez's name cemented in the BBQ Hall of Fame. I sat down with the legend himself. So meet Roy, and he's been here for how long?
31 years.
31 years. When did you start here? What was your...
March 25th, 1987.
So you were doing construction?
Yes, sir, in 1984, right out of high school, in 81. But from 81 to 84, we were building houses like crazy, me and the crew. And the reason I love that is because I didn't like to talk to anybody. I'm a real private person. But building houses, they tell you build this wall, you build that wall, and you're just doing it with your headphones on.
Right.
So I didn't have to interact with anybody other than the crew. And then around 1986, end of 86, it was just, we were building houses and they weren't selling. The industry just, was going down. So we just disbanded, and then from 86 to beginning of 87, I was just doing touch-ups on houses and painting them and little odds and ends. So March 20, I think it was the 24th, this kid that was working here, he was in a bad car wreck and he died.
Oh no.
So my nephew said, hey man, we need somebody over here. You don't have to talk to nobody, you just get on the sausage pit and they tell you how many sausages to put on there and on the block, and that's all you got to do. You don't have to talk to anybody.
That was your selling point. Don't have to talk to anybody.
I said, yeah, that was the main thing. He said, okay, yeah, that's good. I don't have to interact, and I'm out there, just doing that.
Right.
So I did that, and I liked it. So following day, I came, did an interview, and the owner said, you're hired. Come tomorrow, which is March 25th, 1987, and 31 years later, I'm still here.
Wow, and a legend. Did you ever think when you started leaving the construction job to that, you're just like, it's a job? Did you ever think it would grow to this, where you got people that come in all the time and want photos and your autograph? And
no, because that wasn't my intentions. To me, it was just a job to have a roof on my family's,
right,
head and food on the table, and that was it. But as a kid, I'm a big Elvis fan, and I said, wow, I wonder what it would feel like to sign autographs, take pictures, and just a taste. I didn't want to be that famous, because then you lose your privacy and this and that. I just wanted a taste of that, and I didn't think it would happen here. I mean, it's just a job. It's just barbecue. Because back when I started, it wasn't a big thing.
Right. And
till later on, 20-something years later, when iPhones, social media, Facebook, it just exploded everything, right, as anything else.
And that's interesting, because this Lockhart has been referred to as the barbecue capital of the world. So really, this was kind of for a long time, people weren't going to Austin.
And you know that I had never set foot in here until I worked here.
No.
And I'm a Lockhart native my whole life. I'm 56 years old. First time I ever stepped foot at Kreuz Market is when I got a job here.
Never came,
and none of the others either.
Like barbecue?
It's because we did it at home.
So this establishment, Krites, it was actually a part of another place just a quarter mile up the street in downtown. And due to a family negotiation that went awry, the owner decided to come down here and build the market or the barbecue joint. Tell me the story about how they didn't want the fires to ever go out. The fires have been lit here for 100 years, and how did they move the fires from that?
That
You're
started,
a part of that.
Well, it started as a joke, because we use the same coals to start the fires the following day.
Right.
We put them in these steel tubs. And so I had told somebody, I don't know if it was the owner or just some customer or somebody that was there, say, hey, why don't we just drag the coals over there to the new place when we're gonna open up or the day before, so we can have the same. We can say we're still
Right.
using the same. We didn't break that line. It's still the same fire, the same coals, and so then 48 hours. Connie Chung, they all got a hold of it, and they say, let's make this a big spectacle. And I was like, wow, I was just joking, you know. And sure enough, we had a police escort, and like I said, 48 hours was here, and they
Yeah, I've
all
seen the
followed
photo
us.
and of course sharing the photo here, but it was a big spectacle. So you looked like you had 2 ropes.
Yeah,
and
well, we have that's what we use to pull the tubs out once we fill them up with hot coals,
Right.
so you don't burn yourselves.
Right.
And they have a hook at the end, so we just dragged it all the way from the old place to this new place.
Wow. You know, we talked about off camera that sometimes the Texas Monthly list, which is heralded all over the world, people look at it and they come flock here and they go eat at this place, that place, this place. You know, you have no issues, no bones with the list, but you believe the list is the line at the door on Friday and Saturday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's just like anything else. You go see a movie, and because the critic said, "Oh, don't go watch it," and then you go see it, makes you
It's
cry,
great.
laugh, or whatever, and it's the greatest movie you've ever seen. Or or you like It's a Wonderful World. I love that movie, and they show it every year. Yeah, when they made it, it was a bomb. It was, you know,
Yeah.
it's just some things that'll last forever. Yeah, they
It's a
weren't
shame
considered.
that we most of us rely on
Yeah,
the
we depend
review
on
of our
people telling
peers,
us, yes,
right?
sir. And I don't believe in that. Like I've said before, when that line disappears, it's time for me to hang up my apron and go back to building houses or whatever. And that's what we go by.
Well, the line's still here. It's such a great experience to come out to Lockhart and eat barbecue, especially here. I don't say that because I'm sitting here. I really enjoy just coming in here and seeing the pits. And most people that are outside of Texas, outside of the United States, they just don't understand it. And when you're here in Texas, you don't understand the people outside don't really have this. There's now that the craft barbecue scene's growing, you're getting it in California, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, you're getting it. But a lot of those folks are coming from Texas to do it.
Yeah, I see that. It's the same technique. They want to rebuild what they experienced here somewhere else. And that's great. You know, it's something that keeps me going.
Have you ever entered in a barbecue competition?
No, but I've been a judge.
Have you?
Yes, I was a judge last year, and there was 1 or 2 that I gave a 9 because it was that good. I mean, I would sell that here, and some of it, like 4 out of those that were in that, I was in the finalist. 4 of those, I think it was 15. I don't even know how they got into the final 15 out of. I think there were 120. It's just not even the judging is for me.
Your philosophy is hot and fast. You don't use thermometers. You cook barbecue the way it's supposed to be cooked. You use your senses, your eyes, your hands. But who were they cooking hot and fast before you started working here, or was that just kind of a philosophy that Rick had and just passed on?
Yeah, I was taught by Rick, and that's the way he did it, and that's the way his dad did it before him.
And so, how long does it take you to cook a brisket?
About 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah, when I first heard that, I was like going, "Wow, I need to sign up for that lesson." You're probably running. Do you have an idea what temperature that the cooker's running? You have it's got to be running 500, 600 degrees.
Yeah, it's just about 500 degrees.
All right.
And during the week, like if it's slow, we don't cook so high because we know what we need,
Right.
and we know how long we have to sustain it in the pits.
But the more meat that's in there,
yeah,
right.
the hotter we have to cook it all, especially like on Saturdays.
But is it difficult to stage that food?
No, like I said, if you've done it for so long, you know how to do it, and you can see, as you can see later on, or if you've seen it before, we don't wrap anything. You know, you don't see us taking it off, bringing it back on.
Right.
It's the way we cook it. You know, we get it about 85 to 90, 95% done before we move it to the finished pit, and then while it sits there, either we stack it on top of each other or we stack it separate, and it'll finish cooking. And that fire is maybe 200.
Right.
200.
But it's all primitive methods. It's not like
Exactly.
there's no holding devices you plug in and alto shams and all that stuff. You guys actually take a brisket off a pit, put it on a different pit to hold it. I love that. Yeah. So what does a normal day look like for you, say on a Friday, Saturday? What, get here at what time? And
Saturday we come in at 6 o'clock in the morning, start the
Right.
fires, put all the meats on. We have so many. We have 8 pits, and on Saturdays they all have their own meats on
right,
because we're so busy, and
Right.
they take different temperatures to cook different things.
right.
And then we worked it the whole day, and then 8 o'clock, 8:15, lock the doors and go home. So no social life.
Not on the
And
weekends.
if you want to come into the barbecue world and think it's just all glory, people see on TV the finished product. You know,
Right.
we're just slicing, serving it, lying on the door, close. They don't see what goes on behind the scenes.
Right.
The blood, sweat, and tears, the away from your family for so many hours. And so,
But the tears are not from that. The tears are from the smoke.
yes, yeah. 31 years and I still cry sometimes when the smoke gets
Yeah.
on me. So it's something that'll never go away.
It is
you know.
definitely something that no matter how, you can teach yourself to touch hot stuff and burn your nerve
Yeah.
endings off, but when you open up a smoker that's got good smoke in it, it'll get you.
Yes.
Well, I really appreciate it. Thank
Oh,
you
yeah,
so much.
anytime, like I
Time.
said, anytime.
Thank you so much.